Greg McKegg wins the draw back, and here's Riley streaking into the zone. Riley streaking around the net, and he goes all the way around the world here and stops up at the hash mark, shoots it, and the net is off the marker. Florida out with the puck now. Yager dumps it into the corner. Battling now with Brewer, who tips it around to Phaneuf and off to Lupul. Lupul to Booth, who cuts into the middle and cuts back. He loses the puck at the blue line, and back comes Florida now. Florida with numbers. Barkov shoots, and it's stopped by Reimer. Juicy rebound there as Reimer is down. We got a whistle here as the net was dislodged again. And you know, if you're Peter Horachek here, you got to take the momentum from that last shift. You know, going into the second period, you got to get your team feeling positive and make sure they can finish this period on a high note.
Nazem, bad behavior, late for meetings, now suspensions. What is happening?
You know, I'm getting a little fed up these days, and you know, I go out there, I'm first one there, last one to leave, and you know, I feel like no one's appreciating my efforts out there, so I keep working hard.
I'm really sorry, Nazem, but Phil has just come out. Okay, sorry, we'll get to you later, okay?
I didn't, you know, it's just embarrassing, you know, the way our guys are being treated by, you know, you guys are treating them that way. It's embarrassing, you know. It's not Dion Phaneuf that's, you know, he didn't build this team. It's not his fault we're losing, you know. He gives his effort every day, and you know, it's just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for some of the people around here. You know, I love Toronto, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just ridiculous.
Sorry, Naz, I had to catch Phil while I could.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a lot of people think that Phil's the star of the team, but you know, guys from the USA, I'm from Canada, I was drafted by this team, so it's a little frustrating, you know. I work my butt off every day, and they're all worshiping that guy. Hasn't scored a goal in 10 games.
Dion, what's going on with your wife?
I don't know if I should comment on that. If you're gonna ask me a question, it should be about hockey and not my wife. We're talking about hockey here.
That was a rough game, eh, Rhymes?
You know, it's always tough when guys are giving up early goals, and you know, I came in after the 3 from Bernie and couldn't get it done tonight. So you know, come out hard in practice and try to get better of it next week. But I'll go home and pray with my wife.
Jonathan, what's happening to the Leafs? What's happening to you?
Well, you know, in difficult times like this, we gotta come together as a group, and me personally, in times of adversity such as this, I try to look to some of my role models, such as Nelson Mandela. You know, he was a great goalie, a guy who is an inspiration to many hockey players out there, so you know, we're all gonna look to him and see if we can battle back and join together as a group and something like that.
Okay, the last word goes to Don Cherry.
Alright, I'm going to tell you right now the reason for this collapse this year. Everybody's blaming everybody for this collapse this year. I'll tell you what happened. It started 2 years ago. The Leafs got rid of everybody. They stripped this team from the ground, from the management. They fired Berkey there, good GM. They fired Brian Burke. That year they made the playoffs too, which doesn't make any sense to me. They fired Randy Carlisle. They got rid of their entire coaching staff, their assistant coaches. They got rid of their announcer Joe Bowen. Boy, I love that guy Joe Bowen. He's a great guy. He's sick right now. I hope he gets a little better. They got rid of everybody, and then they're wondering why the players aren't responding. They got rid of Fraser McLaren. They got rid of Fraser McLaren and Colton Orr. You know, I always say when the dogs aren't playing, that's when the rats come out. And boy, I tell you, this is an easy Toronto Maple Leafs to be playing against. They got no fire, and they got no one to stick up for them. The only way this team is going to improve is if these guys, they got a high draft pick this year, and they can't make a mistake like last year by drafting Nylander kid from Sweden. They got to draft a Canadian boy, a local kid from Toronto. Looking at you got the McDavid, then the Stromes, and the Marner kid. You got these guys. You got to draft one of these guys and build around one of them. You can't be drafting guys from Europe and what. That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. But you got to draft some Canadian boys, and that's the way you got to do.